What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, we all seen the All Star game, the NBA All Star game, and we saw like them trying like this different format, right? And like so over the past few years, and they've been trying different things to get people more interested in the game. Um, and not only that, but like viewership is down as far as the NBA is concerned. Ticket prices are down, like, and people don't show the same interest that they showed in the past. And so my thing about that is, I think what's going to have to happen is the NBA is going to have to, in order to make the game more competitive, they're going to have to take the 3 point shot out of the game. And I spoke about this like to some of my friends, and they was like, well, why not just push push the 3 point shot further back, right? But I think even if you push the 3 point line further back, guys will just shoot from wherever you put it. You know what I mean? I don't care if you put it to like the half court line, guys will shoot it from there. And so I think what's gonna have to happen is you're gonna have to take it out, or at least have it like where is the 3 point shot will you only be able to shoot a 3 pointer like at, like, say, like, for instance, like the last 2 minutes of each quarter. You can shoot from there anytime you want, but it would only count for 3 points like the last 2 minutes of each quarter. So that way, it'll cause players to be more aggressive. Because even Michael Jordan said, like, when they asked Michael Jordan, why don't he shoot more threes, right? And he said he don't like to shoot threes because 3 pointers took away from his aggressiveness. And so now we have a whole league, just about a whole league of guys who just want to shoot up threes, and so you had one game where I think they had like 70 missed 3 pointers, and that's crazy. 70 or 75 missed 3 pointers in one game, when some teams didn't, some people didn't shoot that many 3 pointers in a season, 75. And then so you had one game where somebody's missing 70 to 75 3 pointers. So that means, um, back in the day when people used to shoot 3 point shots, they were like, especially because that's a shot you can get anytime. Back in the day, they used to say, oh, well, he settled for the three, and so that implies that when you settle for a 3 pointer, that implies that you're not being aggressive. And so, like I said, if you take the 3 pointer out of the game, and I think that's the only way to bring back that aggressiveness, because you'll have guys going to the basket. Then you'll have the big guys in the league playing closer to the basket. Um, and you'll be bringing the game back to where it was. It'll be more competitive because the guys, when you're going to the basket, you're challenging, your opponent, and your opponent is challenging you to keep you from scoring, and it's more likely to be a more physical game. So guys will have to develop their low post games. They'll have to develop their mid range games, and it'll be more of a strategy to the game. When people, because you'll have everybody have to move and cut. You just can't go camp out in one area or just run from one baseline to the other baseline looking for a 3 pointer. That's not going to work because it won't be worth anything. So the strategy would be better. And I think even taking the 3 pointer out of the game or limiting the time that you can shoot a 3 pointer, I think that will even make the All Star game better. And the way I think it will make the All Star game better is because what's going to happen is you'll have like guys from the Eastern Conference. They'll beat each other up. They'll play physical and be beating each other up all season long, right? Guys from the Western Conference, they'll do the same thing. They'll be playing physical and beating each other up all season long. But then when they get into the All Star game, it'll be much more of a they go to the All Star game, and it'll be much more of a it's like a privilege to see the best in the East play against the West because now the game is more competitive, and so people was like, this because I remember when Mike, Larry Bird, and Isaiah played, in the All Star game, and so during the season they usually going at each other hard, but then it's like a treat to see those guys play each other. I mean, play with each other on the same team in the All Star game, because they those guys would never have other than that, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to play with each other. So that's the only time you get to see Mike, Isaiah, and like I said, and Larry Bird on the same team. But it's not like that anymore. These guys, they just don't have a reason to challenge each other. Um, and they're settling for shots. And I think, like I said, if you take that 3-pointer shot out of the game, because it's almost watching. Just imagine if the NFL played 7-on-7. Like sometimes in practices, the NFL take the lineman out and they'll just do like 7-on-7 drills. 7-on-7, no pressure on the quarterbacks. Wide receivers just moving up and down the field the way they want to, and it's easy to score. But it's not like the fans would not like to watch NFL 7-on-7 the way they play, the way they practice in those drills. It's just not an exciting. You'll see a lot more scoring, but it won't be aesthetically good for the game. The same thing with hockey, right? So if you took the physicalness out of hockey and you took those guys who like the enforcers out of hockey out of the game, it's just not the same sport. Then you just have guys ice skating with pads on. That's basically what you would have. And and the NFL, I mean the NHL is wise enough not to do that, because they know like, and I just watched. I'm not even a hockey guy, right? But I just say like the highlights and stuff of USA Canada, and right into the hockey match, like 8 seconds I think into the game, the guys just took their gloves off and they just started going at each other because of that competitiveness. Like they want to, each team want to assert itself as being the team that's they want to assert their dominance, and they started right from the, like I don't know what they call it, the tip off or they whenever they do at the beginning of a hockey match, or they drop the puck or whatever they call. But I get it, even though I'm not a hockey fan, I get it, right? And that's what I think the NBA is going to have to do. They're going to have to take that 3-point shot and like limit when you can shoot it, and just have everything, all of a movement like going towards the basket, because it's just not like right now. It's just like um, it's just like a 3-point contest. Either you're shooting threes or you're dunking. And to me, the most efficient shot is that mid range shot. You know, Playing under the basket is tough, and then you got big guys down there, defending. So it's not easy to score in that paint. You know, so you gotta get like in between, like that mid range shot. You gotta be, how to move and cut and get to that mid range shot, either on one of those elbows or in that area where so you can get a makeable shot. You know, and that's what people say, well, you can't do that because the cat is out of the bag. Like so many people are used to playing the game the way it's played. But I think if you want this game to go back to being competitive, you're going to have to include take away that 3-point shot, because it's just taking the aggressiveness out of the game. If not, you already see the All-Star game this past weekend was just about it's dead. It's over with. They talking about now not even playing the All-Star game like next year. That's just giving the players probably like a few days off during the mid-season, which I don't think they should do that. I think they should just do away with that 3-point shot, or not just completely do away with it, but just limit the time that that those players can use that 3-point shot, because it's taken away from the game. Like back in the day when you had Reggie Reggie Miller and Larry Bird, like those guys shot threes, but they basically only shot threes when they needed threes. And that's how I think the NBA should be now. Shoot, you can shoot a three when you need a three. You like if you down, like I said, the last few minutes or the last couple minutes of a quarter, you can shoot threes, because if you are down, then that'll give you an opportunity to catch up. Also, it would create a sense of urgency, because like you'll have limited times when you can catch up. So you'll come out the gate playing harder defense, because you cannot fall behind. You don't want to fall behind on a team 15 and 20 points. Now, if you fall behind a team 15 to 20 points, that's you see teams come back all the time from 20-point deficits, and that's just crazy. That means, like, if you can come back with regularity from 20 points down, then that means that either you wasn't playing hard to begin with, or it's just too easy to score. You wasn't playing hard, and so you didn't have any sense of urgency. And people play in spurts. I remember watching, like, back in the day when doing championship games, like one team will come out and blow a team out, and then the next game another team will blow another team out, and the series will go back and forth, right? But teams knew that once you fell behind a certain amount in those games, like, it was over with. And so what they started doing, what they would do is like, all right, so we see what our strategy, we're going to make some adjustments, and we'll come back the next game with our strategy. And that's how come series went back and forth. But it's not like that. It's not like that anymore. So, and I know people going to be like, well, that's crazy. You can't take the 3-point out of the game. But they took the mid-range shot out of the game, and so now, not only did they take the mid-range shot out of the game, they took the aggressiveness out of the game. They took the low post, no low post plays, and that's almost unheard of. So that 3-point shot, in my opinion, is what killed the game. Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, they shot those shots when they needed it. And so that's my take on it. If they don't, I just think that if they don't take that 3-point shot out of the game, I just think that no matter what they try, I mean, you even have players now. Like, the game is so soft now. You have players like Kevin Durant and what's the guy named Anthony Edwards. Kevin Durant said he don't want to be a leader. Anthony Edwards said he don't want to be the face of the league, and you didn't. You just had a more aggressive, a more challenging league back in the day. Like, guys was definitely challenging people. And now you have guys, because they're making so much money, they don't want to be leaders no more. They don't want to play aggressive no more. They just want to hoop and go home, like they playing at the YMCA or the Merritt Athletic Club. That's just crazy. That's unheard of for somebody to say, I don't want to be the face of the league. Everybody wanted to be like Mike, and that wasn't just a slogan. It was the truth. Everybody wanted to be like Mike. Kids on the playground. You had guys in college, and then you had guys coming into the NBA who wanted to be like Mike. And so now, you got guys saying that, I don't want to be the face of the league. And that's the reason, the NBA is in the state of as it is now. You never would have heard nobody in the NBA said that, they don't want to be the face of the league. And everybody can't be the face of the league, but everybody wanted to be the face of the league. And so, yeah, man, they gonna have to do away with that 3-point shot. That's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment, and let me know what you think about taking that 3-point shot, or at least limiting. Like I said, limit when you can use it. And Yeah, just let me know what you think about it, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.